Happy Friday. We are back with an 8-game slate. Welcome, guys. My name is DK. We're breaking down the 8-game NBA DFS slate in this video. I also cover content for player props, sites like PrizePicks, Underdog, Parlay Play. Guys, if you're not on PrizePicks, you can use the code DKDFS for 100% match up to $100. Link is down below. What's a player prop site? You're building out slips of props, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 6, and you can win up to 25 extra money. They're running a lot of different promotions as well for the holidays, so make sure to check them out, guys. And again, you can use the code or the link. You do deposit. It does help support the channel. And if you guys are looking for more content for DFS or for prop stuff, you can check my Patreon link down below. Let's recap tonight for DFS. So it was a solid night for DFS. Basically, my plan of attack was I wanted to prioritize Luka in the early games and then give myself flexibility for the Clippers news. Because I thought it was 50-50 if Paul George was going to play. So once Paul George got ruled out, I told everyone I wanted to prioritize at least one of Harden, Kawhi. I went to Harden. Ended up working out. He went for 70 fancy points at 18% ownership. I slammed the Jazz. I was not fading them. I had to play someone that was kind of questionable. I wasn't really excited about it, but I need someone at that price point. That was Hendricks. I wasn't really on him, but I needed someone at 4.2, so I had to go there. So yeah, I went Sexton, THT, Hendricks, Olynyk, Dunn. Can someone explain to me how Dunn just does nothing in garbage time, man? I'm watching that. I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh man, I'm in great shape. I have Dunn, Hendricks, garbage time. Let's go. And Dunn does he literally, I think he got negative fantasy points. The man's been well over a fantasy point per minute player on the season, and just does absolutely nothing when I need him the most in garbage time. So that was a bit frustrating. Kuminga, massive foul trouble as well. But yeah, still was a solid day overall. All right, let's talk about it. Pacers and Wizards first game here. Great matchup here for the Pacers. You got Halliburton 11-3. Again, there's been some blowouts of late, but he should play mid-30s minutes in a competitive game. Price point, is about right. I wouldn't call him a priority or anything. Miles Turner 7.5K. The minutes have been slowly ticking up on him in competitive games. He's been pushing 30-plus minutes. But again, the price point is not super cheap. And then you get back to the headache of these Pacers wings. It literally is a headache, man. You got Hield, you got Bruce Brown, you got Mathurin, Toppin, Naismith. They're going to ride the hot hand. I mean, it's a great matchup, but yeah, I would be lying to you if I said, well, any of these guys stood out. Will one of these guys most likely have a good game? Sure. Good luck trying to figure out which one's going to be. What else? McConnell's too pricey at 4.9. You got Jackson's going to back up Miles Turner, but his price has come up a bit, so it's a great matchup, but not a lot standing out price point-wise there for the Pacers. On the Wizards side, Jordan Poole's questionable. This is pretty significant news. If he misses, obviously a bit of a bump to guys like Kuzma and Denny and Tyus Jones, and then I would assume that you get Corey Kispert in the starting lineup. The price isn't amazing on Kispert, but he would stand out as a decent point per dollar play, assuming that he starts. But yeah, Kuzma 8-4. Either way, I think is a good tournament play. He's been the most consistent player this year. Again, it's a good matchup, right? The Pacers played at a very fast pace. So, like Kuzma, either way, he's going to look better if Poole is out. Poole himself, assuming he plays, is fine for tournaments. He's had a really, really not great year. But still a guy that does provide a ceiling, even though we haven't seen a ton this year. Denny Advia is a guy that can stuff the stat sheet, and he would look better if Poole's out. You got Gafford back at 5.6 in a competitive game. I would expect him to play high 20s minutes. What else? Tyus Jones, again, fine, looks better if Poole's out. Kispert, we already talked about him. You got Koulibaly at 5.4. He's been playing pretty consistent minutes, but feels priced about right. I don't think I'm going to mess with Gallinari or the backup, or any of the backup bigs. Let's talk about New Orleans and Charlotte. So the big news, obviously, is Zion. If he misses, well, I'll be going heavy on the Pelicans once again. It's a great matchup. So, yeah, guys like Ingram and CJ get a bump, as well as JV. Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Najee Marshall all look better. You saw Dyson Daniels start last game. Didn't do much in 16 minutes, but he would be another viable value as well. So there'd be a lot to like here from the Pelicans if Zion's out. Even if Zion's in, I still think there's some decent options. The top three guys would all be firmly in play with Ingram, Zion, and CJ. JV, again, they really haven't been playing a ton of the backup five. So JV's minutes have just been way up. Even at 7-1, I like him. Herb Jones, again, I played him the other night. It was super frustrating. He was the one Pelican and didn't do anything. Everyone else smashed. But yeah, guys like Murphy and Najee Marshall look a lot better if there is no Zion. On the Hornets side, well, still no LaMelo. Mark Williams, doubtful. PJ Washington, questionable. You got Terry Rozier at 8.7. He's just playing massive minutes. He's doing everything for the team. I mean, I still have interest in him even at this price point. Bridges and Hayward are solid options at the mid-range. They should play 30-plus minutes. Brandon Miller, 6K, feels priced about right. I think I'd rather go to Hayward or Bridges, like the ceiling more on them. Again, with Mark Williams doubtful, you're going to get Richards starting. Now, Richards is a guy that I'll be pretty high on if PJ Washington's out too, because PJ Washington's out. We saw what happened last game with Richards. He played 40 minutes, right? They don't really have any other bigs on this roster. They were playing JT Thor minutes. So if there's no PJ too, I'm going to be very high on a guy like Nick Richards. Detroit, Philly, obviously there's blowout risk with this game. The Pistons on the road, they've been awful. Not a ton that stands out to me. I mean, can you take tournament shots on guys like Cade and Bojan and Stuart Thompson? Sure. The bigs is going to be Stewart and Wiseman kind of splitting the center position. Both got in foul trouble last game against Embiid. No surprise. There's just not much here for the Pistons. On the Philadelphia side, well, if you think the Pistons keep it competitive, I love Embiid. Embiid just been absolutely smashing every single night. So, yeah, he looks great. Nothing else really standing out to me with the likes of like Maxey or Harris or Melton. Let's talk about Orlando and Boston. So, some blowout risk in this game as well. Boston, we know, one of the best teams in the NBA. You got the Magic playing on the road. Markelle Fultz close to returning. He's questionable. If he plays, obviously completely takes guys like Suggs and Anthony out of play. As far as the top end guys go, Banchero 8.3, Ron 7.8. Neither stand out to me. The guards, like I said, would be completely out of play if Fultz is in. You're going to get Bataze, Mo Wagner splitting the center position. There's just not much here to like, in my opinion, for the Magic. On the Boston side, not a ton here either. I know they're one of the best teams in the NBA, but I mean, assuming everyone's playing tomorrow, there's just nothing that really stands out. Like, do you take shots in the top end guys? Sure. The price points on White and Holiday are up. Porzingis feels priced right. Even some of these secondary pieces are priced up. There's really just nothing that I like in this game in general. Atlanta and Toronto. So you got DeAndre Hunter is once again questionable. If he misses, just really solidifies minutes for guys like Sadiq Bey, Bogdanovich, guys like that. Top end guys, you got Trae Young 9.9, DeJounte Murray 8.2. I do prefer Young to Murray if I had to pick between the two guards. And Bogdanovich would be someone I would only play if DeAndre Hunter is out. DeAndre Hunter's in. I think he's overpriced. You got Sadiq Bey 6.1. Again, he's going to play huge minutes, right? He's playing close to 40 minutes a night. You got Capella and Okongwu splitting the center position, and they are even playing some alongside each other just because how shorthanded they are. You saw 34 minutes for Capella last game, 30 minutes for Okongwu. These two are good options, in my opinion, if DeAndre Hunter's out, just because, like I said, they're really not playing anyone else on this team. On the Toronto side, well, Scotty Barnes, 9K, Siakam, 8.3. It's a really good matchup for both. Basically everyone in Toronto smashed last game. I literally think all 5 starters went off. They were all shot extremely well from the field too. So it's a good matchup for them. Pirtle played 32 minutes. Yeah, I mean, everyone in Toronto I think looks good here in an up-tempo game. All 5 starters, Barnes, Siakam, OG, Schroeder, and Pirtle. You're going to get Chua playing some backup 5. Again, if you think they limit the minutes in Pirtle, he's someone you want a bit more interest in. Gary Trent Jr., who's playing, around 20-ish minutes a game. He's always fine for GPPs, but again, very, very scoring dependent. Lakers and Spurs, you got Anthony Davis and LeBron both on the injury report. I assume both are going to go in this game, but we'll keep an eye on it. LeBron doesn't play. We kind of know what's going to happen, right? Anthony Davis becomes one of the better spot ups on the board. Rui Hachimura would start and be a really good value play. He did only play 24 minutes, I guess, last game. Guys like D'Lo and Reeves get a bump in usage as well. Prince also is on the injury report. We'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, assuming everyone plays, there's not a ton that I love. I mean, it's a good matchup, but I think I would mainly be looking at the top end guys if everyone plays. On the Spurs side, well, Wembanyama started at the 5 once again and smashed. And that tilted me because I originally had him, but then made what I thought was the correct move in tournaments was to prioritize Anthony Davis at low ownership once LeBron James got ruled out. So I don't regret the way that I played. I think I played that right, playing Anthony Davis, prioritizing him over Wembanyama. This is a tilting result because I was high in Wembanyama all day. What was that, a couple days ago? And, of course, he goes for 70. But again, DFS, super, super tilting game. Yeah, if Wembanyama avoids foul trouble, the ceiling is massive on him when he plays the 5. Everyone else kind of just secondary plays. You got Keldon 6.8. Should see mid-30s minutes. You got Devin Vassell at 6.3. He's been a little bit quiet of late, but we know the ceiling's still there on him. Jeremy Sohan, 5.7. Should play around 30 minutes or so. Zach Collins, if you think Wembanyama gets in foul trouble, you can take a shot on him. But right now, the minutes are just not there. Probably not getting anyone else. I mean, if you want to take some tournament shots and guys like Jones or Branham Rosman, be my guest. Final couple games here. You got Houston and Memphis. My boy Shingoat got benched last game for Jeff Green. Could not believe my eyes there. But yeah, I mean, Şengün, Van Fleet, they're normally playing big minutes in competitive games. Like the ceiling on both. You got Green, Jabari Smith, Dylan Brooks, all kind of just there. My boy Tari Eason closed last game. His minutes have been up. We know how good of a point per minute guy he is, so always like him for tournaments. I've been saying it since he came into the league. He should be playing more. I said that literally every single slate last year, that Tari Eason should be playing more minutes, and Houston's finally playing him more minutes, as they should have been. On the Memphis side, well, the big news is Bane. I'm kind of hoping Bane plays. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you guys. I don't want to deal with the Memphis value. I don't want to deal with Vince Williams. I don't want to deal with Dyer Williams. I don't want to deal with Noel. I just don't want to deal with the headache, man. Just please play Bane. I don't want to deal with this gross, disgusting Memphis value. But yeah, if Bane plays, it's Bane and it's Jaren that you want to look to at the top. If Bane misses, Jaren Jackson obviously has a pretty high ceiling. We've seen in the last couple games from him, averaging about 60 fantasy points a game. You know, Aldama 5.9. Surprisingly, the minutes have not been there for him. Derrick Rose would be someone that would bet. He would be the one guy I'd feel good about of like the value plays for Memphis if Bane is out. Played 31 minutes last game. Yumbo started, played 24 minutes. And then again, you got like Roddy and Vince Williams and Zaire Williams and Conchar and Noel. They dusted off Gilliard even. I'm just praying Bane plays. I don't want to deal with that. And finally, the late game Knicks and Suns. No Mitchell Robinson. Again, he's out for a while. You got Randall at 8.8, Brunson at 8.2. I think factoring in salary, I would slightly prefer Randall to Brunson, but both the main guys for the Knicks are firmly in play. You got Barrett at 6.2. Most of the time in competitive games, he's playing high 20s to low 30s minutes. Hartenstein and Jericho Sims, they're splitting the center position. Once again, Hartenstein is the guy with the higher ceiling. He played 20 minutes last game. Jericho Sims is cheap, but like I said, he's not going to do a ton when he's on the court. You got Josh Hart at 5.1, should play high 20s minutes or so. Manuel quickly 4.7. Do have a little bit of interest in him, but the minutes have not been amazing of late. It was averaging or sub 20 minutes now in 4 of the last 5 games. DiVincenzo had a huge game last game, kind of out of nowhere. He had been struggling in the starting lineup and then just went off last game. I mean, he's fine, but I think last game was a bit of an outlier performance. And finally, the Suns. So, Devin Booker. I've been playing him. Booked me on Prize Picks the other day. It's PRA. Been playing him last couple slates at negative ownership. Finally didn't play him last slate with Kevin Durant back. 60 bomb for Booker. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to feel good about anyone in the Suns. I mean, if you want to take shots at any of the big three, Booker, KD, Beal, you can. My boy Nurkic had a huge game last game. He's played very well. But again, the price point's up on him. There's just not a ton here. You got Gordon and Allen on the injury report. If they're both out, I mean, I don't want to mess with the Phoenix Wings either. I really don't. Like the likes of like Matt Tu and Little and Bates Diop and Watanabe. I'm praying one of. I don't want to mess with them, man. I really don't. So hoping those guys play. Hoping Bane plays because, like I said, I do not want to mess with the gross Memphis value. I don't want to mess with the gross Phoenix 3-and-D Wings. I just don't want to deal with that. So that'll wrap it up for the video, guys. As always, if you do enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. See you all in the next one.